Facebook. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's the single eye. Popeye had a single eye. Yep, 666 is the number of a complete, perfect man. Immortality. The Christ manifest in, through, and as you and me. He cometh in a cloud in which we are. Let me see if I can tag some people. Figure this thing out. Brandon, what's up, brother? Boop. Bam. Oh, yeah. I missed you on this invite. I'm sorry. I'm driving, so I'm just going to do this. A couple things here. Alright, that's good. What's up, Brandon? What's up, Ryan? I'm on my way up to Montgomery. I'm driving on the interstate, so if it's a little bumpy, I apologize at first. You know, it's the pure heart that sees God. It's the pure heart, which you are, sees God. Who is it that's looking through? Hey, Sarah. Who is it that's looking through these eyes? Who's looking through these eyes? And who is it that I see when I look through these eyes? It's the single eye that's full of light. It says, therefore the whole body would be full of light. And then it goes on and says, but the eye that is evil, the whole body would be full of darkness. Not knowing, I love what Brandon said about forgetfulness. That evil eye, or wicked, twisted, seeing difference, seeing separation, division, dualism, you know, all these divisions and things, seeing that I am different from you, meaning one's above another, that kind of thing. Meaning that that sees dualism, like, okay, to say, okay, well, that tree is so beautiful, or God, the water is so perfect and beautiful right now. So the flip side to that would be that there's water that is not perfect and beautiful. So that's dualism. That tree is beautiful. Well, the flip side to that would mean that there are trees that are not beautiful. But the pure heart sees God. God is all. God is perfect. Everything is a perfect expression of the perfect one, the one and only being, the source, in which we all life is derived. So before I get going, I would like to say a few things that, you know, as I speak, I have this ability when I speak that lights kind of go off in people's minds. They wake up, they shift, perception shifts, your reality may shift, scriptures may float across your mind, thoughts, memories. You may drift off in a daydream, a trance. Be aware and capture, if you do drift off, capture what you're getting as you drift off. Questions are going to bubble up. And when the questions bubble up, don't conclude. Don't say, okay, what he's saying is not true. Or, you know, I don't understand it because it's outside of my current belief, my current understanding. But we're going beyond current understanding. We're going into the unknown, speaking from the very heart and the passion of God, which is my heart. One. And when you speak from this place, this motivation, that's our source and origin, people wake up. They feel what you're talking about, and things start to resonate. And if it feels like you get a check, or you're like, I don't know, hang tight. Stay loose and open. Flow with the movement, you could say, and know that there's a question that is underlying the challenge to your current belief system. So when these questions bubble up, if you can capture the questions first off, if you have to write it down. If scripture floats across, write it down. If you go off in a daydream or a vision, write it down if you need to. If certain thoughts come across your plate, write it down and you drift off into different, you may say, okay, I need to go to this book while I'm speaking. Do it. I'm not so sure that what I am saying, it is important, but what's even more important to me is that you encounter the living God. And so these questions that are going to arise, that may arise, are an invitation from God, from the living God within you that is truly you. Some people say your higher self. Some people say your true self. Some people say the I within the I. Your source, your origin. These questions, these ideas are coming from the source of all idea, the one idea, the one word, which I'm going to talk about this morning. Good morning, Dr. K. I see you on here, and whoever else is entered. Linda, good morning. So these questions that arise and bubble up from within you, you're going to want to go and ask someone about it. You're going to want to come to me and say, hey, can you please explain this? And what I'm going to do is point you to the truth that's within you, the Christ. So if you can stay your mind on the questions or the thought or the idea that comes or the vision or the trance you go off into and the things you come back with, capture, stay your mind on these things. You'll be given maybe a vision or an encounter or an experience, and the understanding will unfold from that vision or that experience or that question. And that's part of the journey. That's part of the fun. Have fun with it. We're on this eternal treasure hunt, you could say, this discovery of who we are, because who we are is who He is. You say who He, I say He, but even in saying He, I'm talking about God. I'm talking about Allah. I'm talking about the one and only being that is not either male or female, one or the other, but is both male and female energies at the same time. And so when these questions come, stay your mind on them, because it's an invitation into an intimate conversation, an invitation from God right there within you, that is you, into an intimate conversation in your own custom-made revelation, revealing of truth that's unveiled within you, and ultimately an encounter with yourself, your true self, the true reality of who we've always been, which is our source and origin. And where I get that from is I heard from within myself. The last 7 or 8 years, my life has been one of encounters and hearing that inner voice, thought, idea, questions, trances, visions, you name it, cool stuff, but all natural stuff. Hey Cam, good morning. And so I heard within me, because and this is what I'm going to talk about this morning. I'm going to kind of go on a journey that of my experience, and the reason I'm going to share this with you is to help you find, if you don't already know, or to help you settle into the word that you are. And I'll explain that better. The word that you are. The word made flesh and dwelt among us. The word became flesh and dwelt among us, dwelt within us, dwelt as us. Among, in, inside, within, as us. So, this word in my life I have found, because I heard within me, I always had this, my entire life. I look back on it now, and I always had this desire and this knowing within me that we are all equal. Color didn't matter, sex didn't matter, none of it mattered. We're all equal. I've always had this within me, that we're all family, that we're all one. It's always been there. I've always taken up for the underdog my entire life. I've always helped those in need my entire life. And I have found that the very person that I am is even in my is in my name. It is who I am. And so within me, I heard, Alec, if you want to know the truth of mankind, you must go to mankind's origin. So in that question, if you want to know the truth of mankind, you must go to mankind's origin. So in that question, see, that question was an invitation from God within me, who is me, into a very intimate conversation and journey that I've been on my entire life. Actually, my entire life. Because the question's always been there. And the answer's always been there. The answer is me and you. And the answer is our source and origin, who we call God. Who Jesus and his disciples, who would have spoken in the Aramaic language, their conversational language would have been Aramaic. And they would have said Allah, the one and only being. And so if there is only one being, what being is it that you are? And can you be any other being? And have you ever been any other being? If there is only one being, who is God, who is our source, who is our origin. And are you the operative or the generator? Are you God operating in this earth? Are you the power, the source in operation? And have you always been this power and source in operation? The generator. Because ideas can't come forth without thought and without sound and vibration. And you even speak them. So there's this unfolding that's happened of the original idea, that everything is that you're seeing came forth from the original idea. It was an unfolding of the generator of that original idea, our source. So everything that you're seeing is God unfolded and unfolding, you could say. Perfectly expressed. So nothing is outside of perfection. And the only thing that we're seeing that is outside of perfection in error is that which we have judged and deemed to be error or evil. An appearance. That's what Paul said, we don't judge any man according to the flesh anymore. Christ is all. As all. So, even in my name, Alexander Knight, K-N-I-G-H-T Martin, this word that I am. Alexander means protector of mankind. I'm going to go back. Good morning, Ashton. Protector of mankind. Knight. Knight. The sword. Knight. Knightship. K-N-I-G-H-T. Knight. So the protector of the truth of mankind. This word that each one of us are. The protector of the truth of mankind. You say, okay, well, how do you protect the truth of mankind? By the sword of the Spirit. By this tongue that I speak from. I was born on 7/9/76. That's life path number 3. I'm an informed speaker and communicator, a teacher, a messenger, an angel of the Lord with a message. And the message is the message of one. This truth of who you are and this truth of who all are. This word that's been shut up in my bones that I can't shut up about. I can't stay quiet about it. This word that's like a fire in my mouth. And when I speak, everything lights on fire. Everything ignites. This word that we are. That was in the beginning, before the beginning. You know, you were selected and chosen from in Him. Not to be in Him, although you are in Him. You were selected and chosen from in Him before the foundations of this visible world. Before the foundations were laid. Yeah, life path number 3 is informed speakers, communicators, teacher. You are definitely that, Dr. K. And so Alexander is the protector of the truth of mankind, this word in which we are and have always been. By the sword of the Spirit, by this informed speaking and teaching, I stand before the council of gods, you all. I stand among, within, surrounded by God. And I stand and I speak this truth. And Martin means always placing those in need, placing first and helping those in need. It's who I am. I heard within me not too long ago, I heard your name is Alexander. You know, your name has always been in your family, Alec. It's who you are. And boom, right there, I flashed back and went through my whole life, and I saw that I have always been Alexander, this protector of humanity, of equality, of one. So this word in the beginning was the Word. I've broken this down many times, but I'll go through it again real quick because I really want to focus on the Word. So in the beginning was this Word. In the Aramaic, beginning is before the beginning. In the Greek, it's arche, and it means origin. Now, I've got a few notes here. Origin means the source in which all life derived. Alec, if you want to know the truth of mankind, you must go to mankind's origin, the source. And since we have always been one, since we were chosen from in Him, Ephesians 1:4, we were chosen in Him, from in Him, not to be in, not something you got to do to be, not something that you're in Him, you've always been in Him, we've always been eternally one. That's why God says within you, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. Because what He's saying there, what it is saying there, what male and female God is saying there is we've always been one, we'll always be one. You are one. We are. What's Jesus saying here? What are you saying here from within? Who is the I? I and Father are one. We are. If I and Father are one, what is it that we are? I am. If I and Father are one, I am the one that I am one with. I am. We are. As He is, so are we in this world. In all actuality, what it says there is just what it says there. If you break the words down, 1 John 4:17, just as the one. Who's the one, if not the one and only being? Just as the one, I, even I, exist as the world, in the world. Just as the one, even I exist, even I am. Also, I am. Just as the one. One and the same with. And I'm going to break this down a little more when we get into this word that we are. So, before the beginning in origin, you said that before the beginning of what? Before the beginning of this visibility, this visible plane that we have the opportunity to consciously express, manifest, and experience the one that we've always been. And we are being prepared, mind and body, to express that deep down idea that's always been within you, the Christ, in your soul. So in our origin, and origin means the source in which all life is derived, and source means the beginning or place of origin, was the Word. And the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And all things emerged through Him, through this Word. And nothing that emerged visible, no thing that emerged separate from Him, this Word. And I'm going to tie all this together because the Word is the embodiment of idea. And the idea came from the idea generator, the one and only mind, consciousness, our source, in which we've always been in and one with. Ephesians 1:4, we were chosen from in Him. Why? To be holy and blameless before His sight. Who's looking through your eyes? Before your eyes, before your sight. Everything is whole and innocent, perfect. The glory, beholding as in a mirror the Lord of glory, the glory of the Lord, beholding as in a mirror the Lord of glory. You are the Lord of glory. And the only thing that's been keeping us from experiencing who we've always been is what we've thought we were. So what you've thought you were has held you captive from being and experiencing who you've always been. So before the foundations of the world, you were chosen from in Him. In who? In context in Ephesians, he's talking about Father and Son, Christ, in source. So in the beginning, before the beginning, in source, origin, which is the truth of mankind, which is the truth of all things, was the Word, Logos. You know, in the Aramaic, I believe it's Milta. My friend Steve Conover turned me on to this. And Milta is the formless, the idea. The expression. Idea can't be expressed without thought. And thought moves as energy and puts off a sound and vibration. You even speak it. And which brings forth the form. So Milta means formless, expression, and form together as one, in which you are that. You are the idea, you are the expression, the thought, and the sound, the vibration, and you are the form, visible. So in the beginning, before the beginning, in source and origin was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. This word, Logos, is idea. It embodies an idea. You are the embodiment of idea. You say, what's the idea? It's the idea of God, expressed and manifest visibly, which is all idea. So standing behind the tree, which is the Word, tree is the Word. Within that word, tree, the form, the tree, is the idea of that word. The idea of the word tree came out of source, the source of all idea, the source in which all life is derived. And that tree is the idea of source expressed perfectly. Doesn't have to try to be a tree. The lily of the field doesn't try to be a lily. It doesn't labor and toil. It just comes up and is the lily. It unfolds. It starts with the seed, embodying the idea of the lily. It goes down into the ground. The shell breaks open. The idea comes forth. And the lily unfolds and blooms. We are unfolding the idea within us, which is God. That's why Jesus said it's a wonder of wonders if this flesh brings forth the spirit, the idea, the breath, the one thought and idea. Let your thoughts be my thought, Christ, and your ways will be my way, Christ, unfolded, expressing, manifesting. So in the beginning, you were the idea embodied, the idea of God visible, embodied as a word. I am the protector of the truth of mankind, this word. By the gifts that I've been given, but not just that, because we're all gifted with many things. But I am a piece of this puzzle. I am a piece of this entire body that is God's body, humanity, in all things for that matter, because we're one with and as. So, when I first got rocked, and I got glued to my kitchen floor, see, I wasn't doing what I was here to be doing. I wasn't speaking. I wasn't communicating. I wasn't teaching, coaching. I was doing things that I wasn't even supposed to be doing, and I was not happy about it. Down deep inside me, I knew there was another purpose for me while I was here. And the funny thing about it is I had a fear to speak. But the very thing that I overcame strengthened me, prepared this body and mind so I could express God as I'm expressing God now, through words, through speaking. I had a fear of speaking in such a way where sometimes my voice wouldn't even work. So one of the very first things that happened after I got rocked and glued to my floor was I've been encountering God through dreams and visions, Jesus, Holy Spirit, for the last, 8 years or so. And one of the first things that happened to me was in one of the dreams I had, I was spoken to from the right side, and I heard the voice who I knew to be the Lord, Jesus Christ, said, I want you to pray for the spirit of Jeremiah to come upon you. And so in the dream, I started praying for the spirit of Jeremiah to come upon me. And I woke up out of a dead sleep. And when I woke up, my mouth was moving and the words were coming out of my mouth almost uncontrollably. And I was praying for the spirit of Jeremiah to come upon me. And I remember I finally caught it, and because I'd been taught through people that in their forgetful state, being unaware of who they were, I'd been taught a tradition of man, that I was not supposed to pray for no spirit. And so my mind kicked in and said, you're not supposed to be praying for a spirit. And then But then down deep within, I knew it was the Lord speaking to me from within me, as me. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to physically get on my knees right now and I'm going to pray this. And so, you know, and so I was given this idea that the spirit of Jeremiah had come upon me. Many people told me many different things about it, but nothing really happened. And except I had this, and I'd always had it, this strong desire to know the truth. And that this truth was not only for me, but for everyone. And I devoured the Bible. I mean, I'd wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning because, you know, so nobody, you know, because, so I didn't offend people. You know, I read the Bible so much. And I just devoured it. It's in me. And I had this prayer. I said, I don't really care about memorizing these scriptures, Father, but I would like them to become my normal language, where I just speak and it just comes out in the way it needs to come out. And it's all who I am. So one day, about a year later, I was riding down the road and I heard within me, my word is like a fire shut up in your bones and you can't stay quiet about it. This is what you prayed for, Alec. And I was like, whoa, because I had not been able to shut up about it. I was actually pissing people off because all I could talk about was this word. And at the time, I thought it was the written word, which it is now. It is, but it goes much deeper. It's the idea that the word embodies, that you are, that you were with God, that you were God and are and always will be, that you are a perfect expression of your source, and your source is God, Allah, the one and only being. You are the one and only anointing of the one and only being. You are the Christ, visible. You are God, perfectly expressed. You are the perfect expression and manifestation of God. You are in the perfect place at the perfect time right now. There's nothing that you have to try to do to be. You don't have to catch up. When you come in at this revelation right here that may seem to be my ceiling, it becomes your floor. Everything, we're one. You come right in. You've got it all already. So we're not in this. So I've had this feeling that, you know, a lot of people think they're behind and they need to catch up, and that they're not going to shift with the earth. That, you know, they're not shifting fast enough, and they're not, you know. But it's not true. Have fun. Sit back. Rest. You are in the perfect place right now, at the perfect time. He saved the best for last, and you are that best. You are the glory. You can be nothing else. You are the beautiful swan. Just because you thought at one time you were separate and enemies of God, alienated, does not mean you were. You never were. You only thought it. But just because you thought it did not mean you were. You've always been one, even when you were unaware. One means one. So you are a word, Robert, and your name is who you are. And who you are is God. You are an expression of the uniqueness of God as an individual. You are a unique expression of God as an individual. See, even your unique individualism is God's uniqueness as an individual. There are many faces, many facets to the diamond known as God. There are many waves in the ocean of God. There are many raindrops. There are many waves in which you are. So in the beginning was this Word, and Word is logos. It means as embodying an idea in which you are. You are the idea of God, visible. You are all that He is. Just as the one, even you, exist as the world. We are one with all things because we are one with God and as God in this earth. You are the power, the operation of God in the earth. Everything you've ever been through was preparing you, everything to overcome, to strengthen your mind and body so that you can perfectly express the idea that is within you, that you embody. And that idea is the Christ. We are here to consciously express and manifest and experience consciously this conscious life energy that we are and have always been. In Him was life, and the life was the light of mankind. The light of mankind was the life in Him. When, in context, in source, you were chosen from in Him to be holy and blameless, in which you've always been, innocent. If you're innocent, how can you ever be accused? You cannot. Stop accusing yourself. Stop accusing others. If I judge another as anything outside of God, the perfect expression of God, I've just condemned and judged myself. That is self-condemnation, because I am all things one. I am you, you are me. Jesus told us this. Just as I am one with my Father, you are, just as I am in my Father, you are in me and I am in you. My Father is all things. Just as I am Father, I am you and you are me. We are one. I and Father are one. Father is all things. I and all things are one. We are. What is it that we are? One. And we are here to consciously be all that we are. We're here to unfold, so let it unfold. The idea of who I am, this word that's been shut up in my bones that I can't stay quiet about it, is this idea of who I am. And this idea of who I am is my source in origin, God. That I am expressing in the uniqueness of God, in my own way, which is His own way. I'm not outside of that. I'm not an individual unto myself. I am part of the whole one. In a unique part of that whole one. So as I went on, God later showed me through very miraculous supernatural ways, but I was told I was given Uriel. Uriel belongs to Alexander, the protector of mankind. My flame belongs to you, Alexander, the protector of this truth, this word that you carry. That's like a fire in your mouth, and the people are likened to wood. They all ignite and catch fire. Uriel, this archangel, in which I am, the angel of the Lord. Uriel, this flame, this fire. What is this flame if not this word that we all are, that we all came through, that we are all one with and have always been? This word of many words, you could say, this idea, this embodiment of God's idea in which you are, this uniqueness of God in which you are, that you are here to bring forth. And many things have been set up for you to overcome, to strengthen your mind and body, to consciously express this idea that you are, this word that embodies this idea. And this Uriel this fire, this flame that I've been given, this fire that drives me, that compels me, that I can't stay quiet about, that I have to speak about. I'm not happy unless I'm sharing and teaching and helping others to come into their own enlightenment, their own encounter, their own awakening, their own revelation, their own truth, which is the truth of us all. We're sharing in all things. So it does not offend me. I want you to have your own specialized encounter with the one that you are, that is sitting right there within you. And when you see him as he truly is, who is him? If not your true self, your source. And when you see him as he truly is, you will see that you have always been as he truly is. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, came to give us understanding, and understanding to bring clarity, to shed light on, to enlighten us, to awaken us to what was always true about us. And what was that? The resurrection. Immortality. It says he made null and void all forms of death and brought to light this enlightenment. He brought light on, he shed a light on what? Zoe life, abundant life, and immortality, lacking the very capacity to decay or break down. And Jesus Christ, 1 John 5:20 says that he came to give us an understanding of him who is true, and that we are in him who is true, that we are him who is true. And when you see him, when you truly see him, when you truly see yourself, beholding as in a mirror the glory of the Lord of glory, transitioning away from the glory of the illusion, which you only thought you were, into the glory of Christ, who and what you are. Conscious life energy, the idea of God, the emergence of God expressed and manifest visibly, perfectly as you. You are the perfect expression of your Father, of the universe, of all. You look exactly like your Father. You are the perfect image in exactness, not closeness, not almost. You are that image and exactness of God. Elohim, the many as one and one as many. You could also say the compound unity as one, and the one as the compound unity. Many ideas, many words expressing the one idea. How about that? In which you are. So this Uriel that I was given, this angel, this archangel, this messenger, this angel of the Lord in which I am, carrying the message that's contained within the name of the angel. And it's simply this, and I'll leave you with this. You are the I and the L, E-L, as one. You are. You are I-E-L, completely intertwined as one. We are. You are God. We are. You are Christ. We are. And this is why Jesus said, many will come to you in my name. Many will come to you as I, saying that I, externally, Jesus, I, in the flesh, am the Christ, deceiving many. He said, take heed, discern, take heed, and don't be deceived. Don't be caused to wander. Don't be caused to wander tirelessly looking for an external Christ to save you, when Christ is within you and has always been and is you. Peace. Have a great day today. Hope that helped. Love you all.